Hello everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have a Twilight Princess LavaDash tournament race. This is bewildebeest versus DeanMachine in lower bracket round 1. On commentary today we have Anarakis and Skyrion, and they will take it from here.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting match. Beast versus Dean, both very good 80% runners. They've recently both, been running this category quite often for the tournament, and gotten good times.
Yeah, hoping for a close race. They're both really good runners and also pretty consistent, I feel.
Yeah, and what was mentioned last time about Dean was that he likes to go for like safe strats, with the exception of the side hop back in time at the beginning. And going for safe strats in this category is actually very, very smart, because as we've seen in the tournament thus far, a lot of people have gotten game overs and had like huge time losses in certain rooms, trying to save just a few seconds.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff in this category that is required that can lose a lot of time, and there's also a lot of stuff that is not required that can lose a lot of time if they go for it. So we'll see how many cool strats they go for.
Yeah, we've seen some attempt key shard skip once, and then if they fail, go and get the key shard, which is a pretty wise choice. Stuff like that can, save you from a disaster if you were to get like 12th try or something.
Yeah. And of course, this tournament is all for the chance to win a Japanese GameCube copy of Twilight Princess, which is the fastest version for this category and almost this category alone. Looks like both the runners playing on English today.
Except that the Japanese Wii copy would have been truly optimal.
We don't talk about the Japanese Wii copy.
Alright, looks like they're readying up. Dean practicing side hop back in time. So he does like to go for this in races. It is a one-frame trick that we're going to explain in a minute, and there is a safer way of doing it, but he's really fond of the side hop method, which you don't usually see for races.
Yeah, hopefully it goes well for him, because failing that trick would lose him at least a minute. And that's no fun right at the start of the run, especially when this is such an optimized category.
Yeah, for sure.
What about a Japanese Wii U copy? The Wii U version has a few things that it doesn't have early Master Sword, notably, that prevents it from being too fast for this category. But probably text-wise, it is the fastest. Our runner's now getting off.
Alright, so if you've never seen the beginning of the Twilight Princess speedrun before, then this might look a bit weird, but they're going to use this rock to get some additional height from a side hop, as so they can pop into the gate, and then bonk the gate, hopefully bonk out on the other side. So they will have access to a void plane. They will then void out and reset the game on the same frame, and that will respawn them on the title screen. We'll see Dean probably go for the side hop method here, as he usually does, whereas Beast will go for the safer strat. So that was one frame early, but he will buffer, and looks like he'll probably get it.
That will probably work. Yep. Worked from Dean. Very good. And bewildebeest start going to the other side of the bridge, which loses somewhere between 7 and 10 seconds, depending on who you ask.
So Dean going for the risky strat, but it works out. Getting a nice early lead. So yeah, Spice... go ahead.
I didn't actually realize that the rock was there to give you extra height on the side hop.
Yeah. It would have been a lot faster if we could just roll over to the gate. Yeah, so...
Sorry.
I was going to say, by saving on the title screen, you can inherit all the properties of the title screen link. Most importantly, having the Epona tamed flag. You also get put a bit forward in the story here, so you skip the first day of Ordon. That's the reason why the runners did what they did.
Yeah, it also gives you the hero's tunic and Orden Sword and Hylian Shield, none of which are in your inventory. But
If
that
they were,
has other consequences later.
yeah, it would have been a lot easier, like for the thing that happens around 12 minutes in.
Yeah, it would be. Well, you'd still need to get the Orden Shield for that, I suppose. Unless Midna just texts for any shield. Dean now finishing the cave, and Bewildebeest just after the first web.
Oh, I'm missing one swing. So Dean going for the camera thing here, where he pans the camera as he's rolling to try to reduce some lag. For some runners, it matters more than others. Some runners have a bit of a older, slower system or disc, so it could be more crucial for certain players. It will lag regardless. This is a pretty laggy area.
Unless you're playing on the Wii version, of course, which has very little lag across the entire game.
That is true. Another reason why the Wii version is the fastest for this. So, the Japanese Wii version being the fastest, not the Wii U version. TPHD also has this category, but it is much slower. Well, like 10 minutes slower or so.
About 15 minutes slower, yeah.
15, yeah. Looking to be a pretty good cage break time for Dean.
Yeah, and Bewildebeest not too far behind. Most of the optimization in this early part of the game is just rolling well. They're trying to chain frame perfect rolls one after another. And if they miss it by a frame or two, then it causes a loss of speed, a pretty big one, so... It's like 407 for Dean, and the Willoughby's coming right up. 415, so about an 8-second difference at the start.
So a little backstory on this category. It's an old race category from 2011. Goron Mines is a dungeon that you usually don't see in any percent speedruns. So people back in the day decided that it would be fun to race from a new file up to Goron Mines. And it's been just more and more fun as the years have gone by. The route has seen some really cool changes, and we've seen some new tricks in Goron Mines. So it's actually a pretty cool race category, but also just category in general.
Yeah, this became its own really cool and unique category in 2018 or 2019 when a trick called text displacement was found, which we'll talk about a bit later. Looks like Goat's giving Dean a little bit of trouble right at the start. This is an early, not super RNG, but a little RNG part of the run that might bring Bewildebeest back a little.
He has to clean up here. A couple of unfortunate goats.
Bewildebeest having the Goat's world record gets a 20.65 and Dean with a 30.
So just like that, the difference was about 10 seconds, and there you go, they're synced now. Very nice synchronization on the cutscene. We've seen some close races in this tournament so far. Let's see how long the sync will last.
Including Dean's last race, right?
Oh yeah.
Which was 2 seconds difference from the top two.
It's just crazy.
Two runners.
Looks like Dean had slightly better rolls, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what Anna was saying earlier about you're rolling uphill and you miss one of your frame perfect rolls, then your speed just kind of tanks. Dean opting for the C up, Beast not opting for it. I always like doing the C up myself.
Yeah, there's not a lot to do in this 17-second crawl space, but I usually do C up and then zoom back out over and over again. Which is probably not great for photosensitive viewers. Anyway, Now we're onto the sewers, and they'll be trying to break the box in the corner with some good timed combo. Let's see if either of them get it. That looks so synced.
Nice.
Yeah, both of them getting box break. That saves 3 frames.
Yes, so LavaDash is just the name of the tournament, and the tournament is that you race each other in the Goron RTA category. The name comes from, the any percent tournament series is called Wolf Dash, so just rides off of that.
It seems that a lot of tournaments seem to rhyme with Ash at the end.
And each other.
These days.
Was it Wing Clash, Wave Crash? Being
Yeah.
like sort of rhymey. Or the Skyward Sword any percent and the Wind Waker any percent tournaments, respectively.
No MSS.
Yeah, no MSS, right? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in this month. We've seen lots of tournaments for lots of games, and some bounties as well. Like over in the Spyro community, there's been a bounty recently.
There are a bunch of little optimizations here in the sewers section, which can pull either of them in the lead by a few seconds. Best of luck to both of them. First thing they'll go for is talking to Midna right before getting to this cutscene, which saves about half a second, right, in the text box.
Yeah, I think so.
And then jumping to the left here to skip another Midna text box. Both of them getting that, very nice.
D&D get caught on the rocks a little bit, but it should be fine. Yep. If you get caught on it too much, then you won't go far enough forward. So you could still skip the text, but you might not get the Midna Z jump prompt.
Yeah, and then if our runners are good mashers, they might be getting some extra time saves with some 1-frame jumps.
Yes, this section has a lot of 1-frame jumps, and can actually end up adding up quite a bit.
Oh, Dean just
slightly too far back.
That's a very frustrating little time loss.
We saw
getting
in the
a
last
1-frame
race
jump
that-
and Beast also getting one.
Nice. We saw in the last one that I believe it was Nimzo who had a lot of issues getting up on that little ledge, and he had to kill like 3 keys.
Yeah, if the keys get to you, it's really hard to go up. I'm not surprised.
They can also hit you like while you're in the sort of Midna jump sequence, and then they'll hit you like off the platform if you're far close enough to the edge.
There's also a way to fall through the floor at the top of that tower, which I think has only been done twice ever. So
Yeah, twice, yeah. By you and someone else.
Taka.
Right? You're right, Taka.
Both of them now saying hi to Zelda, and then promptly saying bye to Zelda.
They'll never see her again.
Not in this category. Now it's time for Sword and Shield Skip, which is one of the harder tricks in the game. They'll be luring a Bulblin, which we've named Hugo, over to the Twilight Wall and using him to jump over the trigger.
Shadows to Surreal.
Yeah, shoutouts to Surreal. To get into the Twilight without collecting the Sword and Shield, which can't be collected because of the back in time state.
Yeah, so if the developers would have equipped the title screen link with the sword and the Ordon sword and the Ordon shield, or any shield if the game checks for that, I'm not sure, properly, so that they were like on the equipment screen, then we might have been able to skip this. We don't know.
Actually, I want to say that the thing that gets rid of the Midna text is probably the portal fight.
Oh, right. And there
I
are
remember
probably also
some
some flags that get set like when you, as soon as you get them in the village.
Yeah, I remember some weird stuff when I was routing Moonjump 100%, which is a very strange category.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll probably see the runners try to get a position that they're really comfortable with here.
And
That's a great
Beast
one for
getting
Beast,
Sword and Shield
nice.
Skip. Looks like
Dean might attempt this. Oh,
Ooh.
that was that could have worked, but yeah, that was it. There was like a snap change at the very end there. Bit of a weird position at the very end. So
Yeah, very unfortunate for Dean. That loses about a minute and a half. It looked like a good position, just a little unfortunate.
yeah, so he had to void out to reset Hugo's health, because he cannot survive another attempt. And if you kill him, he's permanently dead. So you jump out of the map to reset him, reset his health, but you also gotta lure him all the way across the bridge. So that's where the time loss comes from.
Yeah. Beast now doing the Shadow Beast fight, getting the midna charge ability, which will be useful in a trick we'll be doing later in the Twilight. As well as collecting the tiers, it's pretty useful in that.
Alright, Dean re-attempting Sword and Shield skip, but he's having some trouble with the RNG from Hugo. It's random whether Hugo will try to push against you, be completely idle, making it really easy to push him, and also attacking. So sort of three sort of states he can be in.
This trick is somewhat lenient, but if Hugo just isn't cooperating, then Hugo just isn't cooperating. Looks like getting it pretty decent there. Unfortunately, a bit of extra time lost due to Hugo just not cooperating. And this category is fairly unique in that it needs to get all of the tiers in Fair and Twilight. But unlike some other categories, it has to get them all in one go, except for the first two. They skip the first two tiers for now.
Yeah, usually categories that do this Twilight would enter the Forest Temple and get the boomerang, and then have the tiers be collected in a bit of a different order. But we're gonna skip the boomerang completely in this category. The boomerang allowing us to do boomerang long jump attacks, which is a very utilized glitch in the game in 90% speedruns for GameCube. But it doesn't actually save all that much time in Goron's RTA. It would take longer to get the boomerang than it would be to use it for quick strats in the dungeon.
Yeah, it loses roughly 5 minutes to get the boomerang, which is also why the Wii version is the fastest for this category. The Wii version can't do the boomerang long jump attack that Sky was talking about. So, because it's not useful in this category, all of the other advantages that Wii has start to show.
I didn't see if Beast attempted the trick here with Pharaon, where you open the map and press A at the same time. Let's see if Dean gets it. If he went for it.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't.
Well, he either didn't go for it or didn't get it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a one-frame trick, just opening the map and talking to the spirit at the same time. Skips 2 text boxes and saves about 1.2 seconds.
It's a pretty neat trick, but it's a bit awkward to hit those two like buttons or like those two inputs at the same time as you're like running towards him. And you can, if your precision is not that great, you can be in this spot where you can't talk to Pharaon. So you can
if you open the map before getting there, it's just a big time loss for no reason.
I did that in my last race. I opened the map like 3 times before I just gave up on the trick. And you know, not getting a first try, you avoid the time save. So
yeah. Let's hope Beast can avoid this fog here. The fog will void you out instantly. Oh no.
Oh no.
Dang, analog glitch.
Insane analog glitch.
Yeah, we go into the fog to make the bugs undig themselves, and that lets us collect the tiers slightly slower than is possible without, but consistently.
Alright, Beast doing the first super jump.
Yeah, we use the minute charge we got earlier to get this Shadow Beast to launch us up to this ledge, which
there we
is
go, really nice.
Normally used for early Master Sword, but we don't want the Master Sword yet, so we're going to go and get the 2 tiers in front of the Forest Temple, and then go and do it again.
Yeah, so this category will make you even better at EMS, I suppose.
Dean using a charge attack to get both of the bugs on the wall in one go.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you could do that.
I've seen Samurai Man do that. It's not
that is a name I haven't heard in a while. Shout outs to Samu.
Let's see if Beast has the Shadow Beast right next to the wall here. You can do a midnight charge through.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
If you kill all 3 of the Shadow Beasts, then it's like at least a 15-minute time loss. So runner's going to be very careful here not to do that. Getting a bad swing, and looks like getting it first try with the bad swing.
Yeah, so the only thing that it was suboptimal in that segment was just by getting bad RNG on one swing. So excellent done from Beast. Dean getting a very clean kill on the bugs here after the void out. So the tiers are like nicely grouped together, except it has a side up by accident. But yeah, Beast killed the 2 bugs a little bit differently.
There is still plenty left in this run that could bring DeanMachine back. This category is kind of brutal. So many things can lose absurd amounts of time for just an hour-long category. Getting 2 bad swings there, but then getting EMS first try. And fortunately, getting the tears in the Twilight heals you, so you'll have 3 hearts when going for the trick again.
I thought you said unfortunately.
No, I think that's a good thing.
Imagine if they damaged you.
Just do the same thing as Purple Shoe Jelly.
Yeah. Yes, so early Master Sword is a pretty big glitch, as you could probably guess. So usually you're supposed to beat the first 3 dungeons before you get here, but the area is always available. So as long as you can just get to the like the ledge up there, like get to the entrance of the Sacred Grove, you can just go in and get the Master Sword. So we're able to get to that entrance by going out of bounds in this map, because it has a very big out of bounds portion that has solid collision. So as you can see on Dean's screen right now, he's just gonna keep following this path out of bounds, and luckily for us it's all solid collision until the very end, and then that's enough to just jump down here.
They had to add an invisible wall in TPHD.
Probably multiple.
Yep. It is still possible to get early Master Sword in TPHD, however it takes many hours. You have to do a pickup slide to slowly phase through the invisible wall.
Yeah, pickup slide also used in the original versions, in the low percent category, where the longest slide is how long?
9 hours and 40 minutes. Through the gate in Arbiter's Grounds.
Yeah, TP low percent has seen some really interesting developments like the past few years. It was a lot simpler back in the day in 2014 when I ran it. Just skip some bomb bags, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it was about 11 hours slower in that time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or 11 hours faster, sorry.
Faster, yeah.
Right. Beast finishing the Skull Kid fight, now going to do this very difficult Master Sword puzzle. Hopefully it'll be first try.
Hopefully it gets good RNG as well. Looking for the left solution.
Every jump, there's a 2-frame window that you can press senses to get that screen flash. Looks like going for it on all of them.
So far, so good.
Missed one so far.
Oh, the first one?
It was the second one, I think.
Yeah, there are a few solutions to this puzzle, but there's no RNG, there's nothing difficult about it, it's just remembering what to do, and it's pretty straightforward.
It's like Beast getting 10 out of the 12 possible senses.
So 10 style points will be added to his time.
Yep.
Imagine if we just reduced your, like, subtracted your final time by the amount of sense presses you got during the cuts.
If you don't get all 12, you have to reset.
Do that for grand finals.
22:18 Master Sword for Beast. That's a fairly respectable time.
Yeah, he has a very comfy pace at the moment. There's one unfortunate text box in the Master Sword cutscene here that, like, if this was automatic or wasn't here, then you could have a longer AFK period.
World record in this category is very, very optimized. We've had one runner get close, but it's very hard to beat the record in this category.
Do you mean my last run?
I was talking about Nimzo, but yeah.
Was that during a race, though?
It wasn't during a race. But yeah, 57:20 is the fastest that has been done during a race, which is still more than a minute off of the record.
Yeah. And then your time was also very close to that. The 57, like mid 57.
38, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Simi got that time. Simikins has the world record of 56:14, and he got that time. He PB'd by so much when he got it as well. Like, that run just came out of nowhere, and he just played super well.
Yeah, we were thinking around the time that 56 might be barely possible, and then just jumped straight to 56:14.
But yes, people have gotten PBs in the tournament, yeah. I got a PB in my last race, and not your last race, but the one before that, I think you got a PB, I know.
Yeah, that's right.
We also seen PBs from KitKat, I believe, and one more.
I think Glubbers, but that one didn't count because of emulator. Anyway, the Wildebeest now finishing the Twilight, going to be going for a one-frame backflip to save some time, and missing it. Maybe Dean will be able to save that time back. And then going to save warp and do a trick called Back in Time Equipped, or Bite.
Yeah, take it away, I know. It's quite complicated.
This is usually the one I have to explain only if there's Wii runners. But very... just as another application to the Back in Time trick that we did at the beginning of the run. You see, Twilight Princess is cool because it has two applications of Back in Time. Let's not talk about Skyward Sword, which has like 50 million. Going to be doing the same setup for Back in Time, getting on the bridge, and then loading a file as he jumps into the void. And this file is the file he saved in South Farron. Some files work, some files crash. But this file loads him right into the King Bulblin 1 fight. I don't know how it works, but it does. And he'll be fighting King Bulblin 1, which has some RNG on the way he turns. And that'll put us in Kakariko Village.
Unfortunate RNG turning left there, but good chase.
Left
double
again.
left. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Ideally, King Bulblin turns right, and you're just able to stay right next to him. Unfortunately, not quite the case here.
Oh,
using his last
bird.
Oh no!
Oh, the jump. Oh, Beast also getting a jump. It was very...
I don't know how that got a jump.
Yeah. So if Dean gets a good fight here, he will save a lot of time over Beast. Also the backflip. Beast
Dean
turning
also
around on the
missing the
bridge. So you can hit him twice in this one sort of one round. Excuse me.
And that'll put Beast in Kakariko Village, which is nice because that's the next Twilight. In any percent run, the runners would need to go and get the Kakariko Gorge portal, which also gives them map warping. But in this category, we do not need that ability, so we can just go straight here and do the Twilight. Also, it'd kind of suck if we had to do that because we don't have the boomerang, so we wouldn't be able to get over the gorge.
Dean getting the side up back in time. It's not really much faster than the hanging off the bridge method that Beast did, but he prefers to go for it.
I guess some extra style points.
Yep.
Let's see who has more style points at the end of the run. They're the real winner.
Let's look at this King Boblin fight for Dean. Good RNG.
Turning right, let's go.
Yeah, that will save a lot of time. Didn't get the last chase to be as clean as he would have wanted. He's using the last spur.
And
Okay.
getting it. Not too bad of a fight.
I should save like 20 seconds at least over Beast.
Elden Twilight is another area with a lot of small optimizations and at least one big optimization, which is the bomb house skip, which we'll talk about when we get to it. But the first thing, gotta get this bug, and then we'll be side hopping into this well. Because you can do that.
But not as Wolflink. So having the Master Sword early allows us to transform between wolf and human at will, which makes this sanctuary route possible. Normally you would enter the sanctuary from the top, and there would be a little cutscene that you could skip, but there's like a little delay between it. And then having to do a little puzzle where you sort of unlock the door, or not the door, but you move a statue so you can get down here. But that well clips skips all of that.
Yep.
Also a pretty good Shadow Beast fight for Dean, like same as Beast. So he's gonna stay human. Because rolling in the water to Elden is way faster as human. Wolflink gets like a speed reduction. So as long as you can keep up your rolls here, you can talk to Elden, get the vessel, and then also like the animation of getting the vessel right here is way faster than Wolf. Well, I say way faster, it just only saves like a second or so, but it's the latest optimization. And then he will transform into Wolf. On Beast's screen, he bonked the left wall to make the bug upstairs fall down. Bugs are really reactive to your movement, and we'll see that in just a second in this next building.
Yeah, after luring this bug out with the fire, it's standing right to the side of the furnace, or to the fireplace. Makes the bug go to the ground and into a good position. Then doing an intentional bonk, which makes this top floor bug already flying rather than hanging out on the wall. Saves a little bit of time, but missing the tier there. Just a slight time loss.
Dean also getting good basement bugs. Very nice.
But will he go for the bonk? Didn't get the bonk.
Ah. Invalid run. The bonk is slightly slower than the side hop, I believe. By just mere frames, but it looks way cooler.
And we can see on Dean's screen right now, the strat Skyrian was talking about earlier, just bonking the left wall, and then the bug goes straight to us.
Yeah, it makes that building a lot faster and a lot easier. Normally it would climb all the way to the top, break a pod or something that it's in, and yeah, the tier will then be all the way at the top, get the tier, then jump your way down, and getting down is actually quite difficult.
Yeah, it's very hard to land right in the little area you need to.
Alright, Beast is coming up on Bomb House Skip, so in 100%, you could have the option of choosing between doing it as wolf or as human with a Gale Boomerang long jump attack, but since we don't have the boomerang, we'll have to do it as wolf. It's a bit faster, but a lot more difficult. Fortunately, though, it is pretty standard for top level 90% runs at this point, so he should be well versed in doing this trick. Looks good.
Yeah, very clean.
Trigger there, and then he hits the trigger right before the house and kills the bug before it enters the house. And the game is like, okay, if the bug is dead, then I'll just render the house destroyed. So the whole sequence of going into that house with a loading zone, lighting a fireplace on fire, and you know, escaping the burning building, and watching the house explode, all of that gets skipped.
Yeah, very nice from Beast. And now in the Watchtower is going to be hitting this bug and hoping it will get out of that corner, because it is invulnerable until it does. Yeah, being a little slow and getting the blue rupee.
Bad RNG into the blue rupee, wow. Yeah, rupees are just for status in this category. We don't need to buy anything.
Unless you go for the real challenge of this category, which is who can get the bomb bag fastest.
Yeah, immediately after.
DeanMachine now entering the bomb house, or Barnes bombs going for bomb house skip soon. Hopefully that'll go well.
Yeah, because if you fail it, if you fall down, you lose a lot of time. You can also make it so that you can trigger the bug so that it runs into the house, and then you need to hurry up and reload the area to prevent the bug from fully entering the house. Otherwise, you need to do the intended method. So a couple things that can go wrong. But it looks good so far.
Yeah, also pretty clean from Dean.
Nice.
These runners are both really good, so glad to see that going well. Beast just with
definitely
2 tiers left. And yes.
Yes, like when you need to line up, when you're in first-person view, lining up the visual cue with the hearts, moving the control stick very slowly to the right, that's where, if you have some nerves, your thumb can be shaking a little bit on that part. You can see the RNG for Dean. Yeah, much better.
Yeah, very nice.
Quick bug kill there for Beast. I love that strat. Still making the Steam cycle.
Just one bug left in the run. This is our last set of tier collection. Glad we don't have to go to Laniru. Pretty decent Twilight from Beast.
Yep. And jumping off the ledge there so you can collect the tier with like most of Wolflink's body so that it instantly goes into the vessel. If you collect the tier by like around the like barely touching the tier, then it will travel to Wolflink before it goes into the vessel.
Yeah.
As you just saw on Dean's screen.
Beast's now going to Orden Village and is going to be setting up the trick we know as text displacement. And the reason why this is needed is because he did early Master Sword. When you have the Master Sword, the entrance to Goron Mines is in the wrong state. So you aren't able to enter normally. But by using this trick, which we'll do by talking to Bo 4 to 6 times, and then going to Goron Mines and talking to the Goron Elder there, that will advance the text box in such a way that we'll be able to enter. This trick was found in
September 2018.
September 2018. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was 18 or 19. By Jaquaid. Shoutouts to Jaquaid.
Yeah, shoutouts.
And immediately saved about 17 minutes in the category. Maybe up to 20.
It's massive and such a quality of life thing too. Skipping the whole escorting the monkey, or I guess the monkey escorting you through the fog area, mist.
Oh yeah, you had to do that. Oh goodness.
Beast using the lantern, lighting up Bo. Yeah, it goes for 5. This is a pretty easy visual cue, like this audio and visual cue. Bo will say, and then his hand will clip through his belly as he tries to like touch his chin. So that's an easy indicator that you've talked to Bo 5 times. So Beast now has text displacement and will sort of apply Bo's text in a way to Goron.
It's really easy to lose text displacement if they watch a cutscene they're not supposed to, or save warp, or die, then it'll be gone. But Beast will be going pretty much straight up to the entrance of Goron Mines, and shouldn't be losing it.
Yep, so far all good.
Fortunately, this cutscene of the meteor falling does not get rid of
That would
text
have been
displacement.
disastrous if that was one stole TD.
It would make this split feel even less optimal. You'd have to warp here first, let that fall, and then go to Orden.
Oh right, yeah.
Just to go back. Oh, that would be so slow. Climbing up that little section as Wolf, as Beast did, saves about 5 seconds.
Yep. Nice little optimization idea by Taka.
As long as you can get the Steam cycle, which is fairly lenient.
Beast will turn his camera away from these Gorons so he can side up to dodge them. That angle will not work for the second. Oh, what? Oh, right. Yeah, it's if you look too far right, not too far left. Excuse me. Yeah, usually there's a wrestling prompt if you look at them. But if you turn the camera away from them, you can perform side-ups to dodge them. That was a very left angle, but worked out pretty well.
And now normally, if you have the Master Sword and you go to talk to Goron, he'll say, "Enough!" But that is not going to be the case here. You're going to say, Goron let you into this dungeon, or whatever he says. I don't know.
You two let the young warrior pass. And then he will go into this corner to warp away, because apparently you're invisible in this corner. Nobody can see that a wolf is currently warping away.
But talking to the Goron Elder there gets rid of the invisible wall blocking Goron Mines. Just needs to go back to Orden. I was wondering where he was going.
Beast was about to do Koro TD.
Going back to Orden to get the iron boots, because beating Goron Mines without the iron boots is quite the task that would take much longer.
Dean thinking whether he wants to talk to Midna, transform, or warp there. Eventually deciding that transforming is what he wants to do.
Accidentally talking to Midna is the worst feeling.
Also, transforming into wolf when you're meant to warp is also pretty bad. Because when you warp, you transform anyway. Dean also dodging both Gorons, very nice. His angle being further right than Beast was, so the Goron was a bit closer. But as long as you can dodge them, it's all good.
Now, Bow is another big RNG part. Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah, so Bow is basically a rock, paper, scissors with some mashing. You need to mash about 12 times per second to be able to one-cycle Bow if he cooperates. So you want him to either stand still and do nothing, or do a sidestep so that you can slap him. That will push him slightly, and then you push him off by mashing around 12 times per second to one-cycle him on the first phase. And in the second phase, he will not stand still and do nothing, but his moves are the same otherwise, by sidestepping or grabbing you. Or slapping you. So far, perfect RNG for Beast. And good mashing.
Yeah. You have to mash at least 12 times a second?
Yep.
Get that? Technically, the most consistent would be going for the grab, but you can't just... you can't push him off straight with the grab.
So now I see both Bow and Beast going for scissors again and again and again. Or paper or rock, whatever.
Finally getting the... Well, no grabs, but that was a lot of slaps.
But, you know, we take those bows. Getting a perfect on either one of the first, like either first or second phase is pretty good.
Hopefully it goes well for Dean as well. If Bo grabs you and pushes you a bit, that's just the start of a potentially disastrous fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so Beast leaving and Dean entering. Maybe they gave each other the Luigi death stare on the way in and out.
Perhaps. They were using different doors, so maybe.
Yeah, imagine if they both use the same door and like, no, I'm leaving. No, I'm entering. No, let go.
Beast now going for a trick called early elevator, where I'll be clipping out of bounds and jumping down to the elevator area. Very clean from him.
Nice. Dean had Bo stand still on the first one, and then he slapped him, and then almost managed to push him all the way off, but just not enough. But then he slapped him again, and then the slap just kind of made him fall off. And then,
that was a faster bow than Beast had.
Yeah.
But it wasn't perfect.
But for a race, that's pretty good.
Beast now entering Goron Mines, and if you thought all of the hard stuff was over, it is not.
Think again.
There are plenty of things that can lose time in Goron Mines, and especially this first room. I think they might be going for some safer strats here.
Oh, pulling the lantern.
Because the safe strats are not super slow. Yeah,
pull
Beast going for this switch here, which loses about 2 seconds, right?
Wait, hang on. I'm looking up in my brain. It's 1.5 seconds. I think.
Yeah. There is a nice and neat looking way to skip that flame jet, but opting not to do it.
Oh, on the right side of the torchlight there for Beast. Interesting. I've never seen anybody had the lantern out, by the way. This is very interesting. I'm definitely going to pull the lantern next time I do a run. No, Beast, you're not. Preventing the switch from going down by bonking multiple times.
Pretty clean first room from Beast. Let's hope the same for Dean.
Another lantern pull.
Who got a pretty good early elevator as well.
Yeah, this is not going to make the early cycle if he wishes to go for it. Well, he could, I guess, but yeah.
If he went for it, it would make this race a little closer, that's for sure.
Yeah, he also would have game overed. If you fall in lava, you take 2 hearts of damage. So that's a game over if you do. Dean entering Goron Mines now, in the first room. Let's see what he does.
And Beast going for a slab clip as well.
Dean opting for the fast flame jet skip there. Ooh, landing at the very edge, but gets it. Saving about 2 seconds over Beast.
Can you land not on the very edge with that strat? I've only ever landed on the very edge.
Yesterday we saw somebody land like pretty far away from the edge, so...
And getting the third flame jet.
leg.
Very nice.
When on the left side of the torch leg will be someone on the right side. Saving time on the switch there by not bonking a couple times. It's interesting how that resets it.
And Beast now getting the first key shard. Now, the game doesn't actually care if you get the first key shard, it only checks for the third to be able to open the boss door. But we have to get this one because we only have the lantern and the iron boots at this point. It is possible to skip that key shard if you have a lot more things. Which would be very slow to get.
1.5 seconds slower to use the switch on the flame jet, the second one.
Now we'll be hearing the clunk clunk on the ceiling. This
so
room is the reason why Wii is the fastest version. It's able to walk on the ceiling without the iron boots, which saves a lot of time.
Yeah, you can just run at full speed, and it's amazing.
Saves about 40-45 seconds in this room alone.
Yeah. Beast will instead, well, he has no other choice, but he will go for these slash combos to save just a little bit of time over walking normally. Taz was able to save 7 seconds by doing this, roughly. So I estimate that RTA can save like 4 seconds. It would be quite foolish to believe that you could... Yep, just like that. It's very easy to avoid the time save.
Getting through the room now, just a little bit before Dean enters it.
Yes, so this category, you know, in 90% you don't see this dungeon at all, which is one of the reasons why this category exists. Runners back in 2011 wanted to race this dungeon, so they thought, you know, let's do that from a new file. And it's a pretty cool dungeon, in my opinion, so it's fun to see it, because in 90% you don't see it at all, and makes for a very interesting race.
When it goes well, this dungeon is really satisfying to run.
Exactly.
Want to talk us through the Tektite clip? Or the clip in the Tektite room?
Good trick density. Yeah, so in this room for Beast, he's going to... This is crystal switch right there that you normally need to hit to open the gate, but you can instead turn into Wolf, as we have the early masses. I had the masses start early. And then we will attempt to climb the gate on like slightly the left side of the gate, like left of the middle. And Wolf Link will attempt to climb the gate, and then the game will be like, okay, you're not supposed to be able to climb this, and it will just pop through. But he needs to avoid the Tektites. That looks good right there. Go for it.
But the Tektite's getting to him. Gonna have to take some time to do a spin attack, which is a lot faster killing them than if he had stayed Wolf. Unfortunate little time left there.
Yeah, there we go. So Wolf Link attempted to climb it, and then you just kind of start the climb, and then you just pop through. So that saves, I believe, 34 seconds. It saves over what the before that trick was discovered.
Yeah, before that trick was discovered, we more or less did the casual strat in that room, which is pretty slow. Slicing the rope to land on the bridge. Very nice.
Very nice. Jinx. Yeah, killing those Tektites as Wolf Link takes, I believe, 4 quick spins. You deal less damage than using the Master Sword, and you also take more damage as Wolf, so ideally you want to transform to get rid of them. So you can either choose to kill them before you turn into Wolf, or attempt, fail, and then kill them, if that happens. Speaking of trick density, the next room has key shard skip. So normally if you had the boomerang, you could very easily skip it with a long jump attack. But since we don't have the boomerang in this, we skip Forest Temple entirely. We instead want to use the spinning platform and jump off at the highest point when it's rotating to just barely be able to grab the ledge piece they can't pulling the lantern. I love this.
And a pretty clean gate clip from Dean. And a first try from Beast.
First try. Wow. That trick is very difficult, and getting it first try in the race is amazing. We've seen a couple of first tries in races so far, but we've also seen like 12th try or so.
It's the lantern, says TG.
It's the lantern, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
His lucky charm. How much does first try KSS save over getting the key? It's like...
It saves 32 seconds.
32, right. So almost the same time save as Wolfgate clip.
And now going for the Dengoro 2 cycle, which also pulling the lantern out for that. Cool. Grabbing Dengoro at the specific position will make it so he gets caught under the platform and just hits the lava again. Skipping a cycle. It's possible to get a quick third cycle as well, but that requires good RNG, and Beast didn't quite get that. Dean now coming up to key shard skip.
Let's see if he also gets first try. First try is really difficult. Oh, that was close.
Opting not to hold L through the entire thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Second try.
Wow.
Not
Landing
bad.
so far to the right. First try and second try. Wow. I think that's the best we've seen in a race.
I wouldn't be surprised. Very precise trick. You have either 1 or 2 frames depending on angle for that jump.
Dean getting a 1-frame roll before the cutscene. Let's see if Beast gets the cool audio thing where he equips the bow so quickly that you can hear the arrow count go up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, nice.
Just a little bit. Let's see if Dean can get the quick 3rd cycle. Oh, just barely missing Dangoro there. That was good RNG. Unfortunate. Beast pulling this Beamos 4 times. That'll make it lock in position, so he won't have to push it again. It is technically slightly slower than pushing it twice and then twice again. But
I feel like we go back and forth on this every week. Which one is faster?
That's not the only thing in this category that's like that. There's also the bug on Koro's house.
Oh yeah. Nice. Beast avoiding the bonk in between the chest and the torch there. It's really easy to do. Dean not opting to go for the trick where you can do a running slash to avoid talking to Dangoro, so you can do a roll. You'll see Beast do it right here. He's gonna do a running slash and then instantly cancel with a roll, so you can roll right past him. I guess Dean might not be familiar with that strat, because it's not used in any percent anywhere, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
You only use it for clearing some fog in Palace of Twilight. So it's the same technique, but not to avoid text.
Yeah. I don't know if either of our runners will be going for the parkour outside. It's possible to save a couple of seconds by opting not to shoot the Beamos, but the runners will both be shooting at least one of those Boblins up there to skip a cutscene.
Yeah, so it looks like Beast is going for the safe, standard thing. It's really difficult to save time with the parkour thing.
Yeah, the only reason it saves time is because of that cutscene right there. But it's really precise, and failing it can land you in the water and lose a lot of time. It doesn't usually land you in the water, but it has happened in a race. And is he going to be
goes for the bridge thing? Yep.
Opting to land on the bridge. Saves about 2 seconds over landing on the wooden platform to the side.
That's right.
Now basically just has the boss of the dungeon, Fyrus, left.
Really nice arrow shot there. Can be a bit difficult to hit that rope. Oh, I didn't pay attention to Dean's screen. I think he's watching the stream, so maybe he heard me and did the running slashes to avoid the text there. But I was paying attention to Beast.
Dean got an extra LJA off of Dangoro that nearly slashed Dangoro. But yeah, I think avoided the text there. For the Fyrus fight, it's 3 cycles, where we have to shoot the crystal on Fyrus's head and then pull the chain at his ankles. There are some small optimizations to speed it up, just making Fyrus walk as little as possible.
Yep, you basically want to pull like right behind his back in a straight line.
Nice brake slide there from Beast.
Try to pull from the side, then you'll have to walk a little bit.
Let's see
a nice little sink there where Beast unequipped iron boots and Dean put them on.
Dean opting to land on the wooden platform to the side. It is a lot easier in my experience.
Yeah,
it's easy to fail landing on the bridge and loses a lot of time. Also, a very nice arrow shot from Dean there on the bridge. Beast now doing the last hit on Fyrus, and we'll be finishing up with 57 something.
Looks like a 57.45, if his splits are correct.
Really good time for a race.
Very good race time, yeah. I believe that will be the third 57 in the tournament.
I believe so. Fastest being a 57.20 by one Skyrion. Second fastest being, I don't know, whatever my time was.
By Anarakis.
57.38, I believe. Still a pretty close race. I wonder what Dean's final time will be. Sword and Shield Skip basically making up the entire difference, I think.
Yeah. Sword and Shield Skip 1 extra hit during EMS, and yeah, the rest was just like some slight movement here and there. Well, Beast had an unfortunate King Bobble in one fight, but yeah.
He's finishing up with a 57.50.
Oh, but he forgets to end it on race time. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
57.52 on race time. Huge GGs to Beast for the third 57 of the tournament.
GG. Well played.
And Dean not very far behind. I believe this is the final hit for him.
Just a cutscene left for Dean.
We'll be finishing up with like a 59.35. That's not too far off of PB for him, I believe. Still maybe about half a minute off.
Yeah, still a really good showing. Getting, getting sub ones. Almost 58. So that means Beast will move on to the next round, facing Andy, who will be playing on Wii.
Andy, currently the fastest Wii runner. It'll be a really interesting race.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Hello.
Howdy.
Looks like he's joined us.
GG's.
GG's, Beast. That was a really good run.
Thanks, yeah. It was, sorry, really unfortunate King Boblin, but I practiced my lantern strats today. Definitely helped me on KSS.
Oh, that was lovely.
It was interesting to see you pulling the lantern while jumping into the water in the Tektite room.
Yeah, I thought it would help in that room, but it really didn't.
Yeah, it was just put right away. It's kind of rude of the game.
I do.
I can't hear anything. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Oh, GG Dean.
Yeah, GG's Dean.
GG's.
Really unfortunate with the Sword and Shield Skip. That would have been a really, really close race.
Yeah. Both sub 1 still, though. Sub 1 with failed Sword and Shield Skip's pretty good.
Yeah, it seemed like that was pretty much the deciding factor.
Not sure what's going on, but
did
my
you say you
Discord
can't hear
settings are
anything?
messed up, so I can't hear any output.
Oh. Oh, no. Probably thinks we're telling secrets about him. Yeah, I definitely have a thing where like making the same joke at every point in a run or doing the same like meme movement that doesn't lose any time helps me think through it. So I figured that deciding where exactly I could pull the lantern without losing time was would help. Though I did do it in a few places where it would lose time on purpose, like before doors.
Oh, right, yeah. I've never even thought about pulling lantern in one of my RTA before. I'm definitely going to start doing that after seeing this race.
Yeah, what I really, if I want to do that in more runs, then I need to start equipping lantern on X instead of Y, because when I got the boots, like I prefer to have boots on Y, so I swapped the equip.
Right.
I'm here.
Or maybe you should just, do the preferred version of the boots on X. It's the only way.
Preferred by whom?
Boots on X is really comfy for side up unequipping iron boots after getting the small key in the Tektite room. Thank you very much.
But you can do that on Y too.
No.
Your thumb slides both directions.
Sliding upwards?
Yeah.
I
just want to say GG Beast.
Oh, can you hear us now, Dean?
I am here, yeah. I just had to switch an output or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, GG. That
GG's.
would have been close without the sword and shield skip mishap.
I lost less than 30 seconds to golds from sword and shield skip. Like, it was 20 seconds, 28 seconds or something.
Yeah, that's sick. And
Yeah,
sub one without first try sword and
played
shield
out
skip's
my
really
ass,
good
yeah.
too.
Yeah, considering it's only, 35 seconds off of PB, and it was a almost 2 minute time loss to Hugo.
Yeah, Hugo wasn't looking very nice to you. And then
he wouldn't stop swinging, and then he kept going too far out from the wall, so I tried to bring him back, and when I tried it, I was just so into the wall that I didn't get any speed on the LJA.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I got a fun 6 in a row slap session with a bow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. Not too bad, though. That was in that segment. I got that, and then I also ran the wrong direction after warping to Farron because I forgot what I was doing.
Yeah, were you going to do a Koro TD? Was that in your mind?
No, it's just there's no... It's so stupid that we have to warp to Farron, then turn around and run to Orden. It's just not... When I warp to Farron, I think I'm going forwards. Because every other time I warp there, I'm going forwards. But
it's just the hundo muscle memory. Eh?
With both of those things, I was still 4 seconds off my gold, so I think I can improve that one.
We had a great beginning. We synced after goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were really close all the way through
goats,
the sewers as well.
I had to work those goats, man. They were running.
Yeah, mine were pretty tame.
They, like, the first batch, like, one of them just took off, and then the next batch, one of them took off, like, around the fence, and then double spooker.
Escaping like that, 30 is pretty good. You got a 30, right?
Yeah, like, literally, you got a 20, I got a 30, and then, like, it faded out at the same time. I'm like, oh, well, sync.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's why I do fast bit.
Yeah, because you would pretty much, exactly, 10 seconds ahead due to fast bit, and then just the goats being the deciding factor to switch that around again.
I had pretty good rolls too, and I tried to like reduction strats that G's did yesterday. It worked pretty decently.
Nice. I always figured that if I went for those, I would probably roll the wrong direction so much that it would cancel any time save I got from lag reduction.
It's actually not hard. You just hold the notch on the C-stick.
I guess if you tap L, then you're always going to go the same direction. Maybe I will try that.
But yeah, we were doing really good. Plus 10 seconds to goats. Then I had a plus 145 to best on Hugo, and then everything else was within 5 seconds to gold. Like, except for Farron. Farron was a little shaky, but still good for my standards.
I think your Elden was better than mine. I lost.
It was
like
55. 655.
Yeah, I think
657.
7.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I really just wish that I would have gotten Hugo first try. We would have been so tight. Just so tight. Yeah. It felt like I was just playing catch up the whole time.
Yeah, races are definitely best when there isn't a big time difference right at the beginning.
I did close the gap.
Yeah, if that had happened even if that had happened to one of us at the end instead of the beginning, like it would have been tight the whole way.
And then you got key shards first try, and I was like, well, and that was like kind of the last big one.
You got a second try though, so that was pretty big.
Yeah.
My consistency is pretty solid with it though.
Mine is not. I was lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Really the last big thing is getting on the bridge to Phyrus. Because like if you miss that jump attack, then that's, I don't know, 40 seconds or something.
Yeah, we've seen people go for a swim in the tournament before, so. But glad to see you today.
I've put in a lot of practice trying to get that jump down, but every time I do, I slash the rope, like almost every single time. I don't know what subtle difference I have to change to make it more consistent, but I just don't go for it.
Yeah, I found the same thing, dude, so.
I'd take my 1.5 second now and call it a day.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the second flame skip in Goron Mines. Like I'm just gonna I don't feel like dealing with it and figuring out how to not void out. I'm just going to press the switch.
Yeah, 1.5.
It's actually really easy.
So I've heard, and I've tried a few different. I don't know. I really shouldn't be so dismissive of it. I probably wouldn't be if I ran the category seriously. But like, I'm just doing this for the tournament. So
I watched Simikins as a reference VOD, and I couldn't figure out what the heck he was doing there. And then I slowed it down into slow motion, and then it was like, oh, he's turning up right into the jet, so he always gets the same angle.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it out.
Very finicky
It's-
category.
I don't know. It was a good race though. Like I'm super glad it was still at least a sub 1 with the beginning anyway.
Yeah,
Really
that was a
solid.
nice time.
Yeah, GG's. And GG to Beast for moving on to the next round. You'll be facing Andy. How do you feel about that race?
Oh boy.
That's gonna be a tight one.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
gonna be very
see. So like,
interesting to see.
I feel like Andy hasn't done as well as he probably could in his other races so far, but he's really good, and also on Wii. So that's a bit intimidating. But you know, the goal is to just play as well as possible. So I'm gonna do that.
And have fun.
Yeah.
Races are really, they could go either way because people can have great PBs but be bad racers.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
reference,
well-
that race will be the 3rd and 4th place on the leaderboards.
Oh,
Their
Oh, yeah,
PBs are
that's
2
true.
seconds apart. Should be a very close race.
did I get knocked out or I'm in the losers bracket or something?
With this, you will be knocked out of the tournament, unfortunately.
Ah, damn.
Dang.
But thanks for racing in it. It was real. You had some really good races.
I will also be in the Discord to just do casual races for practice if anyone wants to.
Yeah, I imagine you wanted to keep going with the category, as you seem to be having fun with it.
I can easily get a 57. This run proved it. I was a minute and 50 behind PB at Hugo, and then I finished 30 seconds behind PB. So like, that's easily a 57 with tight gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Maybe
Well,
next
thanks for the
time.
race.
Yeah, thank you, man.
GG, Dean.
GG.
Yeah, GG's to both.
Yeah, GG's to both. That was fun
Thanks
to
for the
watch.
commentary. This was fun. I was just listening.
Thanks. Yeah, good commentary.
you
You
will
didn't
also
make me
listen.
resident sleeper.
Oh, Dean, did
Alrighty.
you hear my thing about the running slash? Just the last thing.
Running slash where?
At
To
Dangoro.
prevent talking to Dangoro.
Oh.
Because I thought you were listening to the stream, and I meant to watch you when you were on your way back past him, but I didn't pay attention at the right time. So I think you might do that on this second pass through. But yeah,
I'll
just
give it a
running
shot.
slash to prevent the speaking to Dangoro to appear, so you can just immediately roll. It's just the same as Palace of Twilight when you slash the fog right at the light sword.
Makes sense. Okay. Oh, I get the strats after the race.
Yeah. That's how they get you.
I think it's about time for me to start wrapping this up. So thank you to our runners for racing today, bewildebeest and DeanMachine. And thank you so much to our commentators, Skyrion and Anarakis. Coming up on Zelda Speedruns, in about 45 minutes, we'll have the lower bracket finals of the Wind Waker Any Percent No MSS tournament between Aloha Kirby and EJ125. That will be on this channel. But in terms of Twilight Princess, the LavaDash tournament, the next race that we'll have on ZSR is the winners bracket semifinals between Fino and Skyrion, and that will be at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. Should be a good time. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to send us over to Zelda Speedruns 4, where they are having the Majora's Mask Randomizer weekly race blitz settings. So, should be a good time. Okay, thank you all so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.